Okay, so I usually just upload this on YouTube, but YouTube is playing with me today, so doing a D live. So special there. Anyway, Shato, it's Pesterquest time. Time for Roxy Lalonde. Friendship Wozard. Let's go. Turn on the auto voicer.
Self-voicing enabled.
Don't have to read all of
You've
us.
spent a good few days fucking around with your newest friends. They seem to be on their respective paths toward something. You're not exactly sure if self-actualization is a part of it, but you're trying to not be too bent up about it. This Earth's friend group seems to have a lot of, interpersonal complexity. To be fair, you do only really know half of the friendship quadrangle. It's probably past time to meet the other two corners of it. See what all the fuss is about. Get their side of all the drama before you leap to any more judgments. You've thought a lot about what you said to Jake, and what you wanted to say but didn't. You're shame at the thought that you might also be erring
Whoa.
passively on the side of friendship sloshes uncomfortably in your belly against the fear that you may be choosing too much, wanting too much, changing too much. Because you've thought a lot about what Jade said to you, too. That's probably why you bothered to get Roxy's address from Jane. You can't exactly stop making new friends, because you aren't ready to think about what your purpose would be without that. But maybe you could do it the old-fashioned way, this time. Showing up on somebody's doorstep via the accepted human method of following directions to their domicile's specific government-assigned number seems like it might be a better start than, oh, just zapping directly to them when they're taking a shit or something. Which is definitely a hypothetical situation and not at all something that happened to you recently. Anyway, you came up with a plan and everything. You're not a real mailman, that you know of, but you've grown to appreciate and respect the profession, so you don't mind LARPing it once more. You wonder briefly if there might be other guises under which people might go up to another person's house and knock on their door, but almost none of your friends ever leave their fucking rooms, so you sure wouldn't know. You zap down the street from her house and walk up the long scary driveway through the trees, over a bridge, and up to her door. Okay, so not exactly a normal human method. What? Were you supposed to stroll all the way to New York from Jane's place? She'd offered you bus money, but then remembered her fortune is tainted. She vacillated between giving you every single one of her dollars and burning it all in a symbolic bonfire until the two of you landed on moving it to a new, hopefully untraceable, bank account. You're really not sure how deep the Batter Witch's surveillance goes, but Jane seemed satisfied, at least. She's going through a lot. You know how it is, having to endure huge life-upending bouts of information being tossed at you more or less weekly, yourself. So yeah, you skipped a step in your mail-personally sojourn. But you made it to Roxy's house in a respectable manner, which was the whole point. You knock, and you wait. The person who comes to the door is not Roxy. At least, she doesn't look like the photo of Roxy Jane showed you. Oh fuck, unless Roxy's a catfish? You did not expect this. Catfish Roxy. Oh, it's you. This could be interesting. You blink. It is you, she got that part right. Do you know her? You scour her features. She does seem familiar, like a friend you almost had, or did have, very long ago or moderately long ago, depending on the perspective you are looking at time from. You wonder, have the two of you met before? Catfish Roxy. No, we have not, nor was I expecting the pleasure. Ah, shit, you thought you were onto something for once. You wonder how many more levels of memory are buried, twisted under a blown synapse in your burned out brain. You have to move forward and give up on chasing down whatever buck-wild theory you were inching toward.
It's Rose, so.
There are real mysteries afoot with this stranger. This feels like a
Not really, it's
decisive
just old
moment if there ever
Rose.
was one. Save. Save.
Save, 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 save,
Close
save,
menu.
save. Catch
the
the
catfish
catfish
in her
on.
river of lies. You know how this shit goes. It's time to sit down, just the two of you, to talk through some hard truths before asking Jane if they want to meet for a tense but hopefully cathartic confrontation. Which you'll have to film, of course. Shit, okay, it's go time. You take a deep breath and call her out like the slick sleuth you are. You know she's been pretending to be friends with Jane online. Catfish Roxy. Oh, this is far cuter than I expected. Catfish Roxy. Both this situation and your little self, I mean. Catfish Roxy. I have in no way been doing that. Catfish Roxy. It is more refreshing than I would have thought, though, to be reminded that there are dramas with stakes like these out there. Catfish Roxy. In the midst of all of this, her eyebrows pull together as her gaze goes right through you. You turn around, but there's nothing out there. Catfish Roxy. While some of my moves, both personal and political, have brought my path across her family, I haven't interfered directly with Jane's life, and I don't intend to start. Catfish Roxy. Can you say the same, friend? Is there a way you justify the strings you're pulling? Catfish Roxy. I won't stop you, of course. I have my own matters to attend to. Catfish Roxy. This is only food for thought, and I can see you are intellectually underfed. Catfish Roxy. It just might be worth your while to contemplate the repercussions of the paths you're on. Catfish Roxy. Did you have any further questions, or did you come all this way just for that? You really aren't sure. Man, it seems like all you do is contemplate your path. You feel all turned around inside. Talking to whoever this is makes you feel like you stayed up too late staring at the moon and got all fucked up about existence till you felt too stupid to think anymore. But like in a good way. You stare blankly at her while you try to remember your purpose. Catfish Roxy. I will go ahead and take that as a no. Good luck, friend. She shuts the door and you turn, bewildered, back toward the long driveway. Well, okay then. You sure met someone. It definitely wasn't Roxy, and you don't think whatever just happened counts as friendship, so you guess this one's a loss. Was it because you cheated at traveling like a regular person? Friendless and rudderless, you start the long, pointless walk of penance to somewhere.
Hey, she called you friend. That counts for something.
Image. Load slot 1. Wednesday.
What? Oh, I forgot. Guess I didn't say, but it was short. Hello, Catfish Roxy.
Oh wait. You are an idiot. This is an adult. You've been spending too much time with marginally supervised aliens and a lonely maroon boy recently that you forgot that Roxy probably lives with her parents.
Yep.
And it's 50/50ths on the possibility of a stuffed Grandma Rose somewhere in there, if the pattern holds. It's feasible she could have told her mom about you. You play it safe, and instead of accusing anyone of online identity crime, you ask if Roxy is home. She stares at you for a moment, her lips slightly parted. You get the feeling she is not often caught off guard, and you wonder what it is you've done wrong, now. Probably Roxy's mom. Do you ever think you have lived through every possible iteration of an emotion, and then one day a manifestation of narrative agency shows up on your doorstep to remind you that there is yet another way to experience the acute feeling of a particular loss? You do what you do best, and stare blankly at her, trying to figure out just what in the fuck that might mean. Probably Roxy's mom. Oh, is that not a universal one? Probably Roxy's mom. Well then, I can clarify. It is a roundabout way of saying no, she is not home, nor will she be for quite a while. Probably Roxy's mom. I would offer to take a message for you, but with your bag of tricks, I think you can manage the wait. She winks at you conspiratorially, and you have never felt less like you were in on a plan with somebody. Probably Roxy's mom. This has been fun, but I'm not the one you want. I'll go ahead and make myself scarce so things can start moving along. Probably Roxy's mom. Unfortunately for me, my path is not as flexible as yours, or hers. Probably Roxy's mom. You've wasted considerable time here as it is, and I have my own preparations to contend with. Probably Roxy's mom. Scoot along before you touch something you shouldn't. She shuts the door and you stand, blank and useless, on the doorstep. Maybe this isn't the right house and that lady was just having a good time fucking with you. Jane had said she hadn't used Roxy's address in forever, since Roxy didn't ever really seem to receive things she sent through the mail. And whoever this was didn't really give you any solid evidence that she knew what you were talking about. You take a minute to consider the cryptic shit the woman who is very probably not Roxy's mom just told you. You feel like a level 1 bugfuck idiot, taking on a side quest from an enigmatic wizard so far beyond you that you feel like you should have spent way more time grinding first. It feels like that's what she was going for. Anyway, whatever she said was something like, you could manage the wait. Maybe this one's an issue of time, not space. It always seems to be one of those two bastards. Well, luckily for you, you have power over both. Might as well follow the only lead you have. You perch on the bridge over the river running in front of the house and fast forward, holding Roxy's name at the front of your mind. Ears swirl by you in a visual cacophony. Buildings rise up around you. Lights flash, red and hot.
Okay.
There is a rush of busy energy, the ebb and flow of a colonial tide, and then a stillness.
Kind of recreating a scene from the original comic.
Right when you start to wonder if you've missed her, you feel it. You wait till it feels right, and you stop. Holy shit. That was a while. You traveled forward in time from John's era to meet Jane, you guess, so you suppose it isn't the most unfathomable thing to have to do it again, but wow. The trees that surrounded you just a minute ago are gone, replaced by a sea of crumbling buildings and a low, skittery sound, like pressing your ear to an ant colony. The vibes out here are real bad. You hurry up and knock. The door opens slowly. Roxy, for sure it's Roxy this time, peeks her head out, spots you, then squints at the empty street behind you. Seeing no threat, she bumps the door open with her elbow and drops a huge pumpkin in your arms. She stumbles a bit over the door jamb as she does it, and you almost don't catch the pumpkin in favor of reaching for her, but she steadies herself at the last moment and leans against the frame, unfazed. Tipsy nostalgic. Here you go lil buddy. Tipsy nostalgic. I appreciate you knockin'. Tipsy nostalgic. It's a lot more polite than the usual breakin' and enterin' you guys do, so I picked out a nice jokey one for you.
Yeah, she's very drunk, so letting the auto voicer stumble over her words sounds about correct.
Tipsy nostalgic. Don't go tellin' every1 to try this shit though, or else I'll never get sleep again in my life. Tipsy nostalgic. It'll just be run and produced to my door 24/7. Tipsy nostalgic. Unloading snacks to every chess guy in existence without rest. Tipsy nostalgic. Naught but ear eating noises for company. This is not at all how you thought this would go, but you honestly should have known better than to do anything with your expectations but throw them in the trash can. So you roll with it and thank her for the pumpkin, calling her by name for max politeness. You can't see much over the flagrantly large gourd you're struggling to keep hold of, but you feel her go still. Did she stop breathing? You crane your neck to peek over the curve of pumpkin, and, fuck. Again with those expectations. You did not anticipate pure terror to be the emotion constructed on her face, but there it is. Tipsy nostalgic. What shit did you just say to me? You said thank you, Roxy. You open your mouth again to introduce yourself as the friend Jane mentioned, but all your words shrivel up in your horrible mouth, because Roxy has flattened herself against the doorframe, her head tucked down like you're blinding her. Tipsy nostalgic. I. Tipsy nostalgic. WH. Tipsy nostalgic. You're not a. Tipsy nostalgic, said my N. She slinks down to the floor and kind of rolls back inside, shutting the door behind her. You hear nothing, then a deep, heaving sob. What the fuck just happened? You knock, politely, just once. Tipsy nostalgic. All on a minute I gotta. Tipsy nostalgic. Do SMTH. Tipsy nostalgic. Don't go any here. You hear nothing but footsteps trailing away into silence. It could be time to head out, but she told you to wait, so you do. You are nothing if not committed. About 20 minutes in, the low, skittering hum in the background fortifies itself into a more present rumble. From around corners and out from dilapidated doors come the source, the patter of feet, a low unintelligible whisper, and the clicking of joints. It's people, and they look like you. Well, almost. It's more that you look like if a child drew them, their simple frames made simpler, with softer edges. Your skin is actually skin, right? They chitter around you, and you squish your arm meats to make sure. Yeah, you aren't chitinous. Wait, or is that bad? You're trying to process whether you're relieved to have the bodily makeup you thought you did, or if you're sad that the space of time you thought you might have finally found your kin was so fleeting. You don't get a chance to sort through it fully, because the new guys are surrounding you, and they look hungry. It might well be you or the pumpkin, here, so you hold it out toward them and hope for the best. They take it, and, chittering what seems to be their thanks, shrink back into the night. You check them off your mental list of predators and sit for a beat. It feels like you're waiting for more than Roxy's return, like this is a moment of choice. Jesus fuck, you went to all this effort to try things a new way, and what did it get you? Nothing. You've never had such a spectacular failure to connect upon first meeting someone. So what are you supposed to do now? You wait, but the familiar push against your ribcage to decide something doesn't come. What is this drive to make you choose, anyway? What if you just wanted to sit on your ass and do nothing? What if you are tired of choosing, when every choice you make takes you further from anything good?
The burden of choice.
And who knows? Maybe you're supposed to do nothing. Maybe that's what your plan was all along, tough guy. You don't know who that little jab was aimed at, but you want nothing more in this moment than to petulantly slap the reins of choice off your shoulders. If only there were reins to slap. God, impotent rage is the worst. After a minute of continued seething at nothing, you feel it.
Alright, actually going to save this time.
Go see what the chess guys know. More than you know, Chungus. Give up and see if Nepeta wants to hang out.
Yeah,
Nice
Nepeta.
Can't tempt me with a fun friend Doors locked? Smash a window, bitch. Don't tell me what to do, you're not my mom. Blinking, you feel the desire to act ebb away. It's replaced by a tingly giddiness at the victory of your, inertia. You'll be kind to yourself and call it fortitude and resolution instead. You're gonna see this shit through. You do what you promised, and wait. Eventually you curl up on the welcome mat and pass out like a stray kitten. At some point in the night, you open your eyes for one bleary moment as a chess guy lays a blanket over you. The creak of the door next to your ear jolts you awake. Towering above you in the sharp, bright rays of morning sun is Roxy. Tipsy nostalgic, oh shit you are real. Tipsy nostalgic, I came out here so I could prove to past tipsy me that it was just a dameray or some shit but. Tipsy nostalgic, now here you are and here I am. Tipsy nostalgic, so. Tipsy nostalgic, let's dig right in. Tipsy nostalgic, did you or did you not say human English words, include in my name, to me last night? You did do that? Tipsy nostalgic, well. Tipsy nostalgic. Time to reckon w/this then I guess. Tipsy nostalgic. I might still be a lil buzzed so I'm just gonna see how this plays out. Tipsy nostalgic. Stick w/me. She beckons you inside and you scramble to your feet and follow her. All that waiting paid off, didn't it? You emanate smugness in every direction as you walk, just in case there are any entities or narrative concepts around that have the capacity for feeling slighted by such a thing. You trail behind her into the living room, explaining how you knew her name via her friends. Tipsy nostalgic. Ah, okay, that makes more sense LMAO. Tipsy nostalgic. That make you the one who convinced Jane of the stuff ABTR reality that I been trying to get her to see for quite some fucking time. Tipsy nostalgic. The benefits of being able to be there to show her in person I guess. She stands next to the couch, her shoulders bunched up, popping her fingers. She isn't looking at you. Tipsy nostalgic. She told me you could time travel but she failed to mention the part ABT how you are some kind of alien. Tipsy nostalgic. Asterisk alien sorry to offend. Tipsy nostalgic. But if I'm being real it's not like our communication style is full and truly without gaps on a normal day. Tipsy nostalgic. So this checks out. She scrunches her face up and groans. Tipsy nostalgic. Ack. Tipsy nostalgic. I'm so sorry. Tipsy
A lot
nostalgic.
of
I'm Bane a jelly belly Deborah Downer.
a lot of images here for this one. I'm kind of impressed.
Tipsy nostalgic. LMAO what in the fuck is wrong w/me. Tipsy nostalgic. Here you are. Tipsy nostalgic. A friend in the flesh. Tipsy nostalgic. And I'm just over here whining away about my other friends whom I love very much. Tipsy nostalgic. This is just a lot LMAO. Tipsy nostalgic. I've daydreamed all the potential friend meeting scenarios I thought might ever happen. Tipsy nostalgic. W/any and all combobs of my 4 whole friends whisking me off on a friend sojourn. Tipsy nostalgic. I just didn't consider a new one might show up on my door disguised as one of my lil neighbors so. Yeah, you're super sorry for how last night went down. And for what it's worth, you've made friends with like a lot of people. And all the friend making skills you've learned in your travels didn't save you from fucking this one up. There's no one foolproof way to do it, you figure. You would know, as a proven fool. Tipsy nostalgic. LMAO that is good to hear. Tipsy nostalgic. Still I'm sorry about ditching you right off DHA bat. Tipsy nostalgic. I went to find a small sip of courage which turned into a swig of courage. Tipsy nostalgic. And that became a whole ass bottle of courage which as you know can happen. Tipsy nostalgic. So I did not so much come back outside to confront my harsh real titties. Tipsy
Real
nostalgic.
titties.
Asterisk realities. Tipsy nostalgic. Namely you. Tipsy nostalgic. As I did come from the soft real titties of my pillow on the floor next to my bed. Tipsy nostalgic. Anyways it's just that I've never heard my name come out of someone's mouth right next to me in real life before. You don't comment on the boost thing. Y'all just met and you don't wanna come off too preachy just yet. You try another angle instead. You could always try the meeting thing again. Tipsy nostalgic. Like acting it out? Oh, sure. Yeah. Haha. Of course you didn't mean literally going back and redoing it. This is a salvageable situation, and you don't want to waste a redo if you don't have to. Tipsy nostalgic. LOL what? What you mean is you rarely get shit right the first try, anyway. Might as well give each other a clean slate? You hold your fist up and knock on the air in front of you. You hope she thinks this is cool and not lame, since you just kinda leapt into it to avoid thinking too much about all your false starts. You don't have to worry for long, because she smiles, and it's brilliant. The shivering tension in her body shifts from anxious to excited as she hops a bit, getting into the moment. She breathes in, smoothing her shirt, then puts a hand to her ear. Tipsy nostalgic. Oh. Tipsy nostalgic, is that a knockin' on my door? Tipsy nostalgic, whom Stever could it be? She bends dramatically in welcome as she opens the invisible door, and clasps her hands together as she focuses her bright gaze on you. Tipsy nostalgic, oh. Tipsy nostalgic, my. Tipsy nostalgic, fuckin'. Tipsy nostalgic, gee. Tipsy nostalgic, welcome to my abode stranger. Tipsy nostalgic, soon to be more than stranger. Tipsy nostalgic, get on in here and let's get too friended to it. That might be coming on a little strong for typical company, but luckily, you are as friend thirsty as they come, even without OL golf ball nuts forcing you to be. You introduce yourself and step over the pretend threshold, and extend it. Roxy takes it and pulls you into a fast, tight hug. You wrap your noodly arms around her and return it, as tight as you can. At first, you tell yourself she needs it. After all, you can feel her trembling back, her unsteady breath. A minute passes and you realize your hands are shaking too. When was the last time you just held someone? Just let yourself be held? The moment is quiet. You know it's an awkward pose, the two of you standing, draped on each other in the middle of her house, and you realize belatedly that lying on the floor there's a window like the one you fell through right before you. Jesus, how did you get out of Doc Scratch's apartment? Now is not the time to think about that, but it's good. Calm. You could keep going, honestly, but she steps back and tucks a puff of hair back into place, clearing her throat. She is still looking away from you, but she's grinning. Tipsy nostalgic, yeah. Tipsy nostalgic, that was much better. Tipsy nostalgic, hoopla friendships start in prose, am I right? They'll write guides to friendship about the two of you, you say. She sits down on the couch and gestures for you to join her, so you do. Now that you're settled, what she said right before you did your little skit hits your brain right in the face. Has she really never had anyone else around to speak to? Like, tipsy nostalgic, never have I ever. What about the, chess guys, as she called them? The ones she mistook you for? Tipsy nostalgic, oh we can communicate FO show. Tipsy nostalgic, but not with words really. Tipsy nostalgic, I don't mean anything bad about them by it. Tipsy nostalgic, they are RLY sweet when they aren't sneaking into my home. Tipsy nostalgic, plus I don't blame them for their ways. Tipsy nostalgic, on account of them being brought in by the batter witch and summarily forgotten. Tipsy nostalgic, but it were not RLY on the same wavelength. Tipsy nostalgic, so it just kind of fucked me up when I thought one of them was looking at me in my eyeballs and saying my name like it was. Tipsy nostalgic, like I was. Tipsy nostalgic, LOL you. Tipsy nostalgic, Sredi, I'm still mega new to this. Her eyelids flutter closed as she shivers. Man, you thought Jake had it rough, but at least he had his grandma for a bit before she died. You wonder to yourself why she doesn't seem to have had someone like that. You're about to do some mental math and see if you can work some connections out, but she gathers herself and interrupts you before you can do anything too smart. Tipsy nostalgic, and to be clear I can see the dip between you guys now. Tipsy nostalgic, though you don't not look like them tbh. Tipsy nostalgic, it's just that you have a quality of like. Tipsy nostalgic, personhood. Tipsy nostalgic, to you. Tipsy nostalgic, anyway the point is the Reesbimlance is certifiable. Tipsy nostalgic, but or like the Velveteen chess guy. The what? Just because you're soft?
I wish they actually went into the chess people a bit in this. Some of them are pretty cool, like Aimless Renegade and Peregrine Mendicant. Of course, Wandering Vagabond.
Tipsy nostalgic, LOL well you that too. Tipsy nostalgic, but no you know the Velveteen Rabbit. Tipsy nostalgic, it's one of the few books my mom left me that wasn't super dense and cerebral wizard fiction. Tipsy nostalgic, asterisk wizard. Tipsy nostalgic, so I read it a lot before I got grown enough to RLY appreciate the complexities of the cerebral wozard genre. Tipsy nostalgic, yeah, you know I like wozard actually. No, you don't know that one. But you are constantly searching for meaning in your fucking life, so you will definitely check it out if there's someone like you in it. And she just mentioned her mom. She's not still around then, is she? Tipsy nostalgic, nah. Tipsy nostalgic, batter bitch killed her a long time ago. Tipsy nostalgic, before I ever got here. Tipsy nostalgic, back when society was uncollapsed and everything. Tipsy nostalgic, but she knew I was common, so she left me well stocked with snacks and reading material and booze to last a lifetime. Tipsy nostalgic, though I have put a considerable dent in that last category, so we shall see if her planning skills truly were up to par when all said and drunk. Tipsy nostalgic, I thought maybe I was gonna get to meet her and all my other friends in this big IRL multiplayer game I was gonna kick ass at, but now I guess I'm not playing anymore. Shit. You jump up as you put 2 and 2 together. You went to the past before. Or, well, you came from the past, from Jane and Jake's time, which Roxy already knows. But spatially, you were here in this house, then in that time. There was a woman who lived here then. You thought she was Roxy's mom at first, but then you maybe convinced yourself she wasn't, since a few hundred years happened between her and now. You don't know, a lot was going on. Tipsy nostalgic, OMFG you what? Tipsy nostalgic, was she beautiful? Tipsy nostalgic, hold on let me show you. Roxy roots around a bookshelf for something and your brain starts expanding at a rapid rate. Concepts that have been hovering on the periphery of your mind suddenly converge. You already knew that Jane and Jake's deceased grandparents were your friends from the past, but you hadn't considered this, since you didn't know Roxy lived in the future, then. Of course all this shit's connected. Of course that would make. Tipsy nostalgic, did she look like this? She hands you a book, cover open to show the author photo. There she is. Younger than she was when you saw her last night, but older than she was when you first met. You can't help saying her name out loud. Rose. Tipsy nostalgic, oh mom.
OMG.
Why did grown-up her she say you'd never met before, though? Is she not the same person? Fuck the earlier math you were doing. This is way bigger than 2 plus 2. This is some serious mental calculus. You wiggle all your brain worms at once, and it hits you the way it felt different than normal when you hopped from Jake's house to, wherever that one place was. How it happened when you brought Jake home again, too. Like your guts dissolved sideways, how they rearranged slower once you landed. Had it happened when you first landed in Jane's yard, too. You were probably too turned around to even notice, then. You know Roxy's super hyped right now, but you tell her you gotta check something. Do some science. You'll be right back. You zap backward again. Old Rose, what did I tell you about coming back here? Old Rose, get your grubby time fingers out of my pie before you get caught. Yes ma'am, sorry ma'am, have a good day ma'am. Okay, she's mad, which you expected. It also felt like an everyday wiggly belly time jump, which you also expected. You pop out of there, this time concentrating on your friend Rose, just a day after you last hung out. You should just feel yourself zoom further backward toward her, right? Off you go, and wrong. It's that feeling again. That sideways dissolvement and reconstruction of your crudely rendered bowels. Tentacle therapist, oh, it's you. Tentacle therapist, long time no see. Tentacle therapist, for you, I assume.
Well, yeah, he's probably jumping across individual timelines instead of jumping forward and backward in one specific timeline. That's probably the weirdness.
Funny thing about that is no, actually. But you'll have to explain later. You apologize for paying her so short a visit and head back to Roxy. The feeling accompanies you yet again. You pop back into Roxy's living room, a fraction of a second after you left. Those brainworms are wiggling at top speeds. Tipsy nostalgic. Damn B, I know you don't know this about me, but I love science projects. Tipsy nostalgic. I got a whole lab and everything. Tipsy nostalgic. I'm hex of qualified. Tipsy nostalgic. Wanna take me W/U? Oh, sorry, you already went. Tipsy nostalgic. Fuck, there I go blinking and missing all the good shit. Tipsy nostalgic. For the best TBH, or else I'd have sat here worrying that you'd never come back. Tipsy nostalgic. Abandonment crisis totes averted for the moment. Tipsy nostalgic. High five. Tipsy nostalgic. What rad science fact did you learn? Tipsy nostalgic. Was it about my mom? You take a deep breath. You're kinda laying down the knowledge tracks a second before your brain card rolls down them, so you're hoping this makes sense as you piece it together word by word. You think, this is a different universe? Tipsy nostalgic. Yo, what? You've met the woman Roxy thinks of as mom. But you also have a friend named Rose from a while ago. She's friends with Jake's grandma and Jane's grandpa, and you're pretty sure she even read you some of this same fucking book at one point. But they can't be the same exact people, even if they all look the same. Things feel different there than they do here. Like looking in an inside-out mirror with every cell of your body. Those definitely exist, don't worry. Tipsy nostalgic. Hell's 2THA yet. Tipsy nostalgic. I'm following you. Tipsy nostalgic. Would love to gaze inside one of those mirrors and flip my shit some way. Tipsy nostalgic. Would be a liar if I said I had never thought ABT that as a general concept. Tipsy nostalgic. But that's besides the point. Tipsy nostalgic. More importantly, what we're saying is I have double the moms I thought I had yesterday. Tipsy nostalgic. And we're also saying you can, like, tipsy nostalgic, go visit any and all moms whenever you want. Tipsy nostalgic. Just go on a mom visiting bender. Tipsy nostalgic. No rules, just moms. Tipsy nostalgic. And I can come along? Well, no. There are a couple rules. But other than that, yeah, damn, you thought she might take more convincing. Tipsy nostalgic. Look around at all my gear and cat clones and general living situation, bud. Tipsy nostalgic. Alls I'm saying is none of that is particularly hard to believe. Tipsy nostalgic. And after all the grief I endured trying to get Janie to believe me.
Might as well point this out. This is actually a kind of important mirror right there. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Tipsy nostalgic.
A window, I guess.
It'd be pretty fucking stupid and not to mention rude as heck of me not to believe you now. Tipsy nostalgic. You're my friend.
Aww.
That is a relief. Your grasp on this shit is tenuous at best, so it's good she is so easy to win over. Tipsy nostalgic. It is one of my best qualities. Tipsy nostalgic. Or at least one of my biggest ones. Oh, though before she gets too excited, one of the rules does seem to be that her mom in this universe doesn't want to be visited, though. That's kind of a big one. Tipsy nostalgic. Oh. Tipsy nostalgic. I see. Tipsy nostalgic. Well. Tipsy nostalgic. Did she say why? Tipsy nostalgic. I mean, if y'all already hung out, what's so bad? ABT, one more chill SESH. Tipsy nostalgic. Unless it. Tipsy nostalgic. It's okay for you, but you can see her start to blame herself, so you cut her off. It's definitely not that she didn't seem interested. More like she couldn't. She shooed you away every time you tried to say hi, like she was afraid you'd fuck shit up, which, to be fair, you do regularly. She said she was preparing for something. You look around. For someone. Tipsy nostalgic. Ah yeah, okay. Tipsy nostalgic. Makes sense. Tipsy nostalgic. It's funny actually. Tipsy nostalgic. No, I'm jaking your leg, it sucks. Tipsy nostalgic. But like situationally it's funny. Tipsy nostalgic. BC that game I mentioned that Janie's off destroyin'. Tipsy nostalgic. A week ago I wasn't even sure if I wanted to play. Tipsy nostalgic. Was P ready to go to desperate measures to not play it at all if I'm being totes honest. Tipsy nostalgic. BTH. Tipsy nostalgic. But then when Jane said she met you and was all hellbent on doing some righteous smiting to the whole company Tipsy nostalgic. It hit me that I kinda did wanna play after all. Tipsy nostalgic. Like I thought maybe I'd meet my mom in the game and I'd finally get to talk to this lady I built my whole sense o self around. Tipsy nostalgic. Get to see how she is in real actual life and figure out how bad I fucked it up my version of it. Tipsy nostalgic. LOL anyway. Tipsy nostalgic. We aren't playing so it didn't matter. Tipsy nostalgic. I've been trying to be a good friend and lend my hacker skills to Jane's cause. Tipsy nostalgic. But it hurt and it cow to tell her. Tipsy nostalgic. And then you showed up and my options shifted like 75 more times. Tipsy nostalgic. I barely got time to come to terms with it being okay to want something before it gets swiped away from me LOL.
I do have to say, this artist, they got to do Roxy and this Rose and all everything, or Catfish Roxy, I guess we'll call her. They did a really good job inking the lips. I think that's really, really neat. So, anyway, just something I noticed. Moving on.
Shit, you really didn't mean to mess with her expectations. You should have kept your mouth shut till you figured out what this all meant. She smiles at you, and you don't have to have known her for long to tell that it's forced. Ah, shit. You can fix this.
Save.
One more visit to this universe's Rose couldn't hurt, right?
It will hurt everything.
Maybe her mom wouldn't mind another visit if you brought Roxy along? Like maybe she was just annoyed when it was your bothersome self. She was definitely a little sad when she talked about Roxy living so far away. Temporally speaking. Tipsy nostalgic. URLY think. Tipsy nostalgic. I mean if you don't think she'd mind. Tipsy nostalgic. IDB 100% down locked and loaded ready to family bond right the fuck now. Tipsy nostalgic. Before I get too nervous to change my mind. Tipsy nostalgic. Should we partake in a celebratory sippy before we go? She reaches under her couch and pulls out a bottle of vodka. You make a non-committal noise as you work out how to respond. You call Jake out for enabling this, so you don't want to do the same. It's delicate, though. Tipsy nostalgic. What am I thinking? Shell prop have her own stash anyway. Tipsy nostalgic. Why else would she have left such vast quantities of this stuff for me to reckon W/? Ha, yeah, you guess? Though maybe she meant for her to bust into it when she was a bit older? Or like, maybe for special occasions. Tipsy nostalgic. Well, saddle up and we can add that one to the list of questions to ask her. Tipsy nostalgic. It's gonna be P far down though I got a lot. You extend your hand, she takes it, and off you go. You choose a point a little further ahead in Rose's timeline, just to give her time to miss you. Just in case.
Uh-oh. You're gonna zap in at the wrong time.
You zap to the doorstep to ease Roxy into it. She plasters herself to the wall next to the door, breathing heavy. You take care of the knocking part. Tipsy nostalgic. Oh shit boy. Tipsy nostalgic. This is it. Tipsy nostalgic. Look at all these fucking trees around my house hoppy shit. Old Rose comes to the door, and from the look on her face as she stares you down, she has absolutely not missed you even a little bit. Old Rose, ah, my incorrigible male person. Old Rose, what did I tell you before? Old Rose, you should not be here, or now. Old Rose, her imperial bane of my existence may not be paying attention to what you do with your friends, but she's keeping tabs on me after your last visit. Old Rose, it isn't safe for you here, and I can't have you compromise this location. From the side, Roxy exhales. Rose turns. Her voice is soft and broken, snow falling from branches. Old Rose, oh. Tipsy nostalgic. Sorry MS Mom. Tipsy nostalgic, Mom Lund. Old Rose, Roxy. Tipsy nostalgic. We didn't mean to bust down operations. Tipsy nostalgic. I just wanted to meet you. Old Rose, no, I know. I know it. Old Rose, and, despite the circumstances, I am so glad to have been able to see you, too. More than you know. Old Rose, but you can't stay. Tipsy nostalgic. Yeah, okay, of course, yeah, no worries, I'm sorry. Old Rose, you have to go right now, before.
Oh no! Before everything goes
through the
wrong.
clouds and you crane your neck to see it, but Rose grabs you both and drags you inside, slamming the door. Shit, this is bad, right? Old Rose, fuck, she's even faster than I thought. Old Rose, I have to call Dave, I have to. She stops muttering to herself and speaks instead to you and Roxy with a sharp, decisive turn of her head. Old Rose, what's done is done. Old Rose, get back, before there's nothing to get back to. Tipsy nostalgic, but, Rose touches her knuckles to Roxy's cheek, and you feel like you shouldn't be here for this moment, shouldn't have brought her here, shouldn't have done anything ever. You never learn your fucking lesson. You do the only good thing left for you to do, and take Roxy's hand. She's still sputtering, pulling you as she reaches toward Rose. There is a low rumble. The house shakes.
Oh, that's cool.
Rose has pulled some knitting needles out of nowhere, and they're sparking with energy. Old Rose, now. When you open your eyes again, you're in Roxy's version of the same living room. Or, almost that. You know it's hers, though it's decorated more sparsely, and there's a corner of the house that's just fucking gone, rebuilt how the surrounding buildings were with a rickety chess guy patch job. Shit. Shit. You stop surveying the timeline damage and instead look to Roxy. She's just standing, staring, blank. Her hand is over her mouth. You're so sorry. You never should have suggested they do that. It's probably best for you to go. All you do is make things worse. The slackness in her face turns to panic. Tipsy nostalgic. No, please. Tipsy nostalgic. I shouldn't ask to go. Tipsy nostalgic. It's me fault. Tipsy nostalgic. Don't leave me. In your guts you know you're the one in the wrong. You are supposed to be the responsible time traveler. You don't know how to make her see this without making her feel worse. She runs and opens a cabinet, then a second, and a third, her movements more frantic each time. Eventually she surfaces, successful. Tipsy nostalgic. Oh thank fuck the booze is still here. Tipsy nostalgic. Always looking out for me that mom. Tipsy nostalgic. Look it's okay. Tipsy nostalgic. We can still have fun. Tipsy nostalgic. You don't have to go, please don't go. She's crying as she talks, her voice climbing higher with fear. Her smile is begging you. You know you'll have to look, later. Check whatever corners of the internet or historical documents Roxy has laying around to see what happened, but you feel in your belly that it will only confirm what you suspect. It would be better if she hated you. You're not ready to face what you did, so you take the bottle Roxy is holding out toward you, take a long, burning swig. More for you means less for her, you hope, as you pass the bottle back.
Regrets. Okay.
Loads.
Moms are cool, but so
Moms
are
are
friends.
cool, but so are friends. It's not just moms, you tell her. You can definitely take her to go see any one of the friends she already has, too. Tipsy nostalgic. What like right now? If she wants, yeah. You're down for whatever. Tipsy nostalgic. Tipsy nostalgic. Is it weird to be so nervous about that? Tipsy nostalgic. Don't get me wrong, I want see the fuck out of some friends. Tipsy nostalgic, plop my eyes right on those guys. Tipsy nostalgic, followed o course by hogs. Tipsy nostalgic, asterisk hugs. Tipsy nostalgic, it's just a RLY big thing and I'm feelin' a lil dizzy even thinkin' ABT even pickin' one. Yeah, you haven't met all her friends yet, but you know just enough about all the various dynamics for that to make sense. And hey, there's no need to rush. You could take her somewhere else, just the two of you. That way she can still get out of the house and see something new, and you guys can sit and talk through who to go see rather than leaping right in. Tipsy nostalgic, yeah okay. Tipsy nostalgic, that sounds chill. Tipsy nostalgic, where to then my cosmic taxi friend? Let's start with somewhere chill, you say, and she nods. Like many things about Earth, there are places you know exist but that you have no memory of ever having been to. They're just a part of your cultural knowledge, learned by your past self and later subsumed into the ever-widening miasma of your mind. You pick one of those places. Somewhere that feels like, at one point, it could have been something you cared about. It looks like a forest, at first, but the pine trees have been shaped by wind. You turn, and the earth in front of you butts up against the ancient stone of an outcropping. It stretches out below your feet in a long, striated arch until it curves into nothingness. Beyond it is an endless sea of mountains, rolling and rolling, fading deep green to blue as they turn into sky. The sun is just below the horizon. Tipsy nostalgic, oh. Tipsy nostalgic, it's so. Tipsy nostalgic, open. Her voice is the quietest it's been since you met her, her bright, boisterous charm, lulled into awe. You ask her if she thinks this will work. Tipsy nostalgic, are you shitting me? Tipsy nostalgic, Buster, I have never seen a more gorgeous thing in my entire existence. We are gonna take a fucking seat and soak in this nature with every one of our pores. Tipsy nostalgic, the visible ones I mean. Tipsy nostalgic, don't go getting any ideas. Tipsy nostalgic, or do TBHUCLD be doing naked cartwheels RN and I wouldn't even notice BC. As I said previously, my eyes are slurping up these sights. Fair. You're not agile enough for that, clothed or otherwise, but you're glad she likes it here. The two of you sit for a while, soaking it in. This is a schedule-free life you lead, so however long it takes for her to talk is fine with you. It doesn't take too long, though. Tipsy nostalgic, so. Tipsy nostalgic, you met Jane. Tipsy nostalgic, Jake too if I'm not wrong. Tipsy nostalgic, they talked about you some but they've been more busy hanging out w/you than talking about you if I'm BTH. Tipsy nostalgic, how about Tipsy nostalgic, Strider. Tipsy nostalgic, he hasn't said anything about you and I like to think he'd tell me if he got the first visitor of his whole life, but maybe he wouldn't be ready to share w/me. Tipsy nostalgic, it's a big thing for me and for him it'd be even bigger. She seems poised to continue hypothesizing about him for a while, so you go ahead and tell her that no, you haven't met him, but you sure have heard a lot about him from Jake. Tipsy nostalgic, lol yeah. What? Would you get a different version of things from her? Tipsy nostalgic, LMAO. Tipsy nostalgic, how far in this drama you wanna get? You're already pretty far entrenched, as far as you can tell, so she might as well fill you in on the rest. Tipsy nostalgic, okay so. Tipsy nostalgic, I'm about to lay it all out there for you. Tipsy
Filling all the
nostalgic,
gaps.
BC I trust you and also it what to do about it all, and some farm fresh opinions might be just what I need. The way she turns to you and clutches her hands together, launching directly into the story, you'd never think she was new to slumber party gossip. Tipsy nostalgic, we got quite the love quadrangle going down in this friend group. Tipsy nostalgic, Janie and Dirk are both into Jake. Tipsy nostalgic, which like, tipsy nostalgic, fair. Tipsy nostalgic, he's be sweet and a hunk no matter how you slice it. Tipsy nostalgic, Jake as you may know is a wild card here. Tipsy nostalgic, No idea who he might go for. Tipsy nostalgic, which is also fair. Tipsy nostalgic, if I am to continue to be a referee here. Tipsy nostalgic, BC Jane is a stone cold fox. Tipsy nostalgic, luscious babe go in hecka places. Tipsy nostalgic, and Dirk is. Tipsy nostalgic, wee-up. Tipsy nostalgic, he's just ABT perfect. Tipsy nostalgic, so. She trails off and wrinkles up her nose as she looks back out over the mountains. Her gaze is heavy with longing. Tipsy nostalgic, don't you hum me. Tipsy nostalgic, what? Just seems like she's leading up to her spot in the quadrangle is all. Tipsy nostalgic, yeah well. Tipsy nostalgic, I'm in there. Tipsy nostalgic, liking the last one I mentioned. Ah, okay. Tipsy nostalgic, what you're doing it again? Oh, just for a minute you couldn't tell which direction she was headed. You thought she might be jealous of Dirk, himself, the way she looked when she said all that, but it's that she has feelings for him. You're just trying to keep up. Roxy laughs and covers her face. Tipsy nostalgic, goddamn called out here on top of the fucking world. Tipsy nostalgic, you're not wrong I guess. Tipsy nostalgic, in a way. Not to continue the vicious call out, but earlier it was her mom she said she tried to be like, and now it's Dirk? You're like the president of the universe at trying to figure out who you are and trying on different ways of being to see what fits, so no judgment there. It's just that it seems like she has a lot of questions about who she wants to be, which is legit as hell. That's life, Babby. Tipsy nostalgic, yeah I guess that's the whole thing you know. Tipsy nostalgic, I wanted to be like her BC she's my family and like the only person I knew ABT for so long. Tipsy nostalgic, then I met him and I was like ooh there's more unlockable options. Tipsy nostalgic, who knew? Tipsy nostalgic, maybe I coulda. Tipsy nostalgic, I do have feelings for him to be sure but you right. Tipsy nostalgic, sometimes W/him it does get all mixed up. Tipsy nostalgic, you ever not sure if you wanna be somebody or be W/somebody? Tipsy nostalgic, I mean I like the me I made from nothing and I don't want every single piece of his bullshit of course but. Tipsy nostalgic, he's like this shadow just out of my range of vision like. Tipsy nostalgic, some kind of what if. Tipsy nostalgic, me if I had just been. Tipsy nostalgic, ugh if this makes any fucking sense outside my own head though. Tipsy nostalgic, what's that you said about that turnways mirror? Tipsy nostalgic, let's hop on that universe jumpin' train and see where it takes us. Tipsy nostalgic, metaphorically I mean. Tipsy nostalgic, I'm not ready to move a single ass cheek off this bitchin' rock yet. It's all metaphorical anyway. Well, not the multiple universes thing. That's pretty much a fact, as far as you can tell. But the turning yourself inside out bit. Whatever it is about him that she feels pulling at her this thing she wants for herself. It's probably bigger than him anyway. He's just the person who made her notice it. Same as it was with her mom. And anyway, it turns out lots of options are unlockable once you realize some locks were in your brain to begin with. Tipsy nostalgic, damn buddy. Tipsy nostalgic, is this what it's always like to talk to friends face to face? Tipsy nostalgic, hauling up piles of deep meaningful truths left and right? Tipsy nostalgic, or is this just a you thing? You have absolutely no way of knowing, but you do know it happens to you a lot. It's different every time, though, and it never gets old. Tipsy nostalgic, good BC I feel like this got up layer one of all my thoughts and feelings about this stuff. Tipsy nostalgic, I'm a little afraid to dig deeper but if you're there W/me maybe we'll find some shit in there and not just big empty question marks. Shit yeah, you can go for round 2 whenever. Your game keep digging at identity all day if she wants, though they did come up here to decide who to visit, right? Does this mean the choice is Dirk? Tipsy nostalgic, got it man. Tipsy nostalgic, yeah maybe. Tipsy nostalgic, eventually. Tipsy nostalgic. I wanna see all of 3 of them plus another friend I haven't mentioned yet but UD get along w/her BC she's also an alien. Tipsy nostalgic,
Ooh.
but I might wanna start w/my kid mom who is visitable. Tipsy nostalgic, not yet though. Tipsy nostalgic, lol I never woulda thought I'd be putting this off any longer than I had to but. Tipsy nostalgic, meetin' you has been one of the best things I ever did. Tipsy nostalgic, I wanna sit and stew in this friend soup w/you for a bit longer. Tipsy nostalgic, and then savor the bites of my other friend soups when I can. Tipsy nostalgic, however ready to eat or not I might be. Tipsy nostalgic, shit this metafot is getting away from me can you take over? You're not sure how salvageable it is, but yeah, you're down to simmer with her as long as she wants. And you think she and her teen mom will get along very well, shared mom trauma and drama included, whenever it comes time to introduce them. She shouldn't worry about being perfectly ready, either. You haven't skipped ahead to see who she becomes, but you're pretty confident she has it in her to be someone she can be proud of, and comfortable being. Someone that can look back on this Roxy with kindness, too, no matter what choices she ends up making. Tipsy nostalgic, you're gonna make me cry again PLS no. Tipsy nostalgic, you. Tipsy nostalgic, also. Tipsy nostalgic, not that I'm gonna forget to day of Ara but I should document. She pulls her phone out and holds it up to frame her shot. She is glowing in the light of sunrise. You watch her, you watch the sun, you watch the fog curl through the valleys below. Tipsy nostalgic, okay now a selfie. She drapes her arm over your shoulder and points the camera at the both of you. Tipsy nostalgic, work it. Tipsy nostalgic, oh yeah that one's cute as fuck. She messes with her phone, opening a chat with someone whose handle you don't recognize. You wonder, as she sends the photo their way, if it's the alien friend. It'd be cool if Roxy was friends with a troll you hadn't met yet. Uranian Umbra, TG, hey.
Uh-oh.
TG, you there? TG, IG not but it's okay. TG, I just wanted to say hi.
Uh-oh. Uranium Umbra, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the cherubs, which is not one of the Alternian trolls.
TG,
but it's something
I
completely
know
different.
we didn't talk much ABT the game not been on anymore last time we got to chatting. TG, but I know we were both feeling it. TG, and I got so many more updates for you when you're back online. TG, so get hype.
At this point, I'm not sure if she's going to be getting back online. No spoiler.
TG, and check out this choice ass view I'm peepin' RN as a preview. TG, thinking of you TTLY. It's time to get comfy on this rock. You may end up being here for a while, since Roxy's not quite ready to get zapped anywhere else. Which, when you consider it, is fine. There is a difference, you think, between inaction and patience. There are small, weighty changes made in stillness. You, worried you choose too much, and Roxy, afraid she was robbed of choice from the start, meet in the middle. She pockets the phone and grins at you. You lean back on your elbows and tilt your head up toward the sky.
Bam! Chillin'. Alright, turn off the auto
Self-voicing disabled.
So I do have to say, I really like the art, the character designs in this one, so let's see who did that. Oh, Andrew Hussey wrote Johns. The Huss man himself. It's interesting. I might want to go back to Johns and double check it. See exactly what the differences are. The writing in this one was pretty good too. So who did the writing for Roxy? Roxy. Oh, the same one as Equius. Equius is awesome, so you have to check that. Anonymous 2.0. Lalo Hunt. Good job, Lalo Hunt. Character artist. Who did Roxy? Roxy. Haven Daniels Taylor. Gamsey. I didn't really like that Vriska design though, but whatever. Haven Daniels Taylor, good job on the Roxy. Do, do, do. Yeah, so let's see what the warnings were on this one. Ba-ba. Friendship Wozard. Alcoholism, underage drinking. Okay, yeah, that's not really much of anything. But yeah, that is volume 13, I believe. Yeah, volume 13. Volume 14, I think, is the last one. And from what I am seeing, that one's coming out on April 1st. So, like a month almost. Oh, oh, excuse me. So yeah, we will get into that. I have no idea what was going wrong with my streaming on YouTube today, which is why I'm streaming this on D Live. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube later. But yeah, so hopefully whatever that problem is gets squared away. So whatever. Anyway, so this is Homes or not Homestuck. Well, technically it's Homestuck. Pesterquest Volume 13. One more to go. So till next time, later.